A few days before my son's wedding, I found out. They had assigned me to babysit the guests. It's on the wedding day. My son called panicking, "Dad, where are you?" I laughed and said, "Start without me." A week before my son Mason's wedding, I discovered the truth. It wasn't casually whispered or subtly suggested. I found it typed in an electronic message I was never supposed to see, drafted by my future daughter-in-laws. "Mother, she can attend to the children, keep her out of sight, less mortifying for all of us." That was me, the mother of the groom, the widow who had raised him when his father's headstone was still new soil, the woman who merchandised jewelry, took night employment, stitched her fingers raw so he could complete his university degree without any debt, and their magnificent scheme for the day I expected to be my most triumphant: isolate me in a corner surrounded by other people's noisy toddlers while they posed for photographs. I sat in my Brooklyn kitchen with that message glowing on my screen, and I did not weep. No. My tears had vanished 33 years ago, when financial demands piled higher than groceries, when I had to be both mother and father. This betrayal did not warrant tears. It demanded exactness. I recall the first time I met her, the woman he claimed he adored. She arrived with perfect tresses and a handshake too formal to feel genuine. I granted her every opportunity. I welcomed her into my home. I offered her respect. She responded with silence reserved, smiles, and a pattern of maneuvering my son away from me during family gatherings. I rationalized it as apprehension, youthful uncertainty, or something similarly fleeting. I deceived myself because mothers deceive themselves when they desire their sons to find felicity, but falsehoods decay when left unaddressed. It wasn't a single instant that crushed me. It was a succession of minor occurrences. The wedding planner suddenly omitting me from communications. My son Mason no longer inquiring about the color schemes, the menu, or the music. A remark she let slip about me not having the suitable appearance for their pictures, and finally that email. That was the decisive moment. I could have confronted him, could have shouted, demanded, pleaded. But pleading is for the powerless. I possessed power, only not the type they expected. I feigned ignorance, smiled at garment fittings agreed during practice dinners. I assured them I would assist in any way I could. And all the while I discreetly, legally and elegantly relocated my assets. You see, the wedding wasn't being funded by her parents, as everyone liked to boast. It was being financed by me, Eleanor. My husband left behind a life insurance policy. I liquidated it early. Half of the initial payments for the venue, the orchestra, the food supplier, all bore my name at the base of the receipts, my signature, my bank accounts. They never noticed. They never notice the one they underestimate. The night prior to the wedding, I packed my garment. Not the one they selected for me. The pale, unremarkable dress that would blend nicely into the group photos. No, I packed the emerald silk my husband once said made my eyes look like razor glass. I folded it gently, placed it in the cupboard, and left the suitcase empty. Because I was not going. The morning arrived. I brewed myself coffee. Silence filled my house while miles away chaos commenced. My phone rang at midday. My son Mason's name illuminated the screen. "Mom, where are you?" "They are lining us up." "Where are you?" "The children are all distressed." I laughed, a low, steady sound, the kind of laughter that tastes of iron. "Don't wait for me," I said. "And don't wait for the meal." Click, because at 9 that morning I had telephoned the food vendor. Canceled under my contractual agreement. The location too, the band. All reimbursed directly back into my account. Every service provider knew me as the payer. Every vendor knew me as the client. Without me, there was no wedding feast, no music, no complimentary bar. Just a room filled with overdressed guests, faded flowers, and the sound of her mother.
Panicking, I imagine the
whispers beginning slowly, then escalating. The guests checking their watches, their stomachs grumbling. The realization dawning on my son's face that his mother wasn't in the corner with the toddlers. His mother was nowhere. His mother had departed. Do you wish to know if it caused me pain? Naturally it did. A mother dreams of that special dance, that photograph, that moment of honor. But agony has a specific taste, and I have been ingesting it for 29 years. This felt different. This was liberation. I wasn't the servant. I wasn't the nanny. I wasn't the background figure in their carefully arranged picture. I was the tempest they never anticipated. Later that evening, he called again. No fury, just a broken silence on the line, I almost answered. I almost told him what I told myself as I wired the refunded money into an account under my name only, but I did not, because lessons are better learned when they reverberate. Now, when people inquire if I attended my son's wedding, I smile. No, I say, but I secured the date, and in my personal calendar that day is not labeled as a wedding. It is labeled as the day I stopped being disregarded. The day they realize that the quiet woman in the corner can dismantle the entire setting. Before you scroll away, hit subscribe to Home Exposed. Or I'll change your phone ringtone to a goat sound.